The Sky Citadels are some of the most impressive structures in all of Golarion, a testament to the dwarves' engineering prowess and determination. These 10 cities were built over the course of several centuries, after the dwarves embarked on the perilous quest for Sky, a journey that tested their mettle and faith. The dwarves faced betrayal and danger at every turn, but those who remained steadfast in their pursuit of the surface eventually emerged victorious. Despite their success, however, not all dwarves were willing to leave the safety of the deep mountains and brave the dangers of the surface. Many chose to stay behind, content to live out their lives in the darkness as Duergar, minions of Droska. These dwarves lost touch with their kin who had ventured out into the light, and over time, their history became shrouded in mystery and myth. The quest for Sky was a monumental undertaking, one that lasted 3 centuries and saw the dwarves facing countless challenges and obstacles. Their god, Torag, had prophesied that when the ground shook beneath their feet, they must press upward to the surface. A starstone crashed to the earth in 5,293 air. The dwarves saw this as the tremors Torag had foretold and knew that the time had come to begin their ascent. As they climbed higher and higher towards the surface, the dwarves encountered many dangers, including fierce orcs who had made their homes in the depths of the dark lands. The battles between the dwarves and the orcs were intense and grueling, but the dwarves ultimately emerged victorious, pushing the orcs back to the surface of Golarion. Despite their success in driving back the orcs, however, the dwarves were not without their own struggles. As they continued their quest for Sky, the dwarves splintered into small factions and turned their attention towards fighting each other instead of their common enemies. The quest for Sky became a tertiary concern, and it seemed as though the dwarves would never be able to unite under a single banner. It was not until the rise of the first great dwarf king, Targic, that the dwarves were finally able to come together as a people. Through a combination of diplomacy, wisdom, and violent coercion, Targic was able to unite his kin and establish himself as the king of all dwarves. He founded the nation of Tar-Targarth in 5,133 air, ushering in a new era of prosperity and unity for the dwarves of Golarion. The Sky Citadels stand as a testament to the dwarves' strength and perseverance, a reminder of their past struggles and triumphs. They serve as a symbol of the dwarves' determination to overcome any obstacle and emerge victorious, no matter how great the challenge may be. Once the dwarves emerged onto the surface, they found themselves in a world vastly different from the dark and underground tunnels they were used to. The sun shone brightly, the breeze was fresh, and the open sky seemed to stretch on forever. However, their joy was short-lived as they soon discovered that the orcs they had fought so tirelessly beneath the mountains had now taken over the surface world. The dwarves knew that they needed to take action to combat the orc threat and protect their people. Determined to keep their race alive and thriving, the dwarves put their engineering expertise to work and founded the 10 magnificent Sky Citadels. These incredible structures were marvels of architecture, constructed with stony ramparts that reached far into the sky and could be seen from miles away. The dwarves spared no expense in creating these cities, ensuring that they were safe behind walls and ramparts of stone and steel. The Sky Citadels were not only impressive in their construction, but they were also home to some of the most skilled and innovative dwarven artisans, craftsmen, and engineers. These individuals used their knowledge and experience to create a self-sustaining environment within the citadels. They developed technologies to harness the power of the wind, sun, and water, making each citadel a self-sufficient fortress that could withstand any threat. For centuries, the dwarves lived in peace and prosperity within their Sky Citadels, far above the dangers of the surface world. Despite their great numbers and superior tactics, they found themselves locked in a brutal war with the orcs, who relentlessly attacked their citadels. The worst happened in 3,708 when the orcs invaded Kolduka and drove the dwarves out. leaving behind only death and destruction. The loss of Coldukar remains a deep wound for the dwarves, who still dream of reclaiming it and ending the orc threat once and for all. As time passed, the dwarves' power dwindled once again, coinciding with a resurgence of orcs' strength. The orcs launched a fierce attack on the dwarven civilization, causing the central government of Tartargath to collapse in 1551 AE. Each Sky Citadel was left to fend for itself, and one by one they fell to the orcs and other threats. Only 5 of the citadels remained: Dongun Hold in Alkenstar, Highhelm in the 5 Kings Mountains, Janderhof in Varesia, and Cravencus in the World's End Mountains, and Craggadon in modern-day Nearmathus. However, some believe that there are other citadels out there, hidden away in the mountains or disguised as part of the natural landscape. Despite their losses, the dwarves refused to give up. They continued to fight against the orcs and other threats, even if it meant that they had to go underground once again. The Sky Citadels may have fallen, but the dwarves' spirit remained unbroken. They continued to innovate and improve their technologies, and they emerged from the darkness stronger and more determined than ever before. The story of the Sky Citadels serves as a testament to the resilience and ingenuity of the dwarven people, and it continues to inspire future generations of dwarves to this day. The Sky Citadels were not only marvels of dwarven engineering, but also symbols of their resilience and determination to survive in a world where they were constantly threatened by enemies. Each of the Sky Citadels had its own unique history and set of challenges, but all of them shared a common goal: to protect their dwarven inhabitants from harm and to preserve their way of life. Dongun Hold, located in the Manor Wastes, was one of the most isolated of the Sky Citadels. It was surrounded by a barren wasteland where magic did not work, which made it an ideal place for the dwarves to develop their firearms technology in secret. The dwarves of Dongun Hold were a fiercely independent people who preferred to keep to themselves and avoid involvement in the conflicts of the outside world. It was only when Ansel Alkenstar made a deal with them to provide firearms that they agreed to open their doors to outsiders. Highhelm, on the other hand, was a citadel that was deeply connected to dwarven history and tradition. Built within Emperor's Peak, it was a symbol of dwarven power and influence in Aviston. Highhelm was the heart of the dwarven empire of Tartargath, and its fall to the orc hordes was a devastating blow to dwarven morale. Despite this, the dwarves of Highhelm remained proud and determined to protect their home, even if it meant retreating into the darklands beneath the mountain. Janderhof was a citadel that was built during the dwarves' quest for Sky, a period of time when they emerged onto the surface of Golarion and established their presence in the world. Janderhof was one of the few strongholds that managed to resist the orc onslaught that followed, and as such it was held in high regard by dwarves everywhere. Janderhof was known for its skilled craftsmen and artisans who produced some of the finest dwarven goods in all of Golarion. Craggadon was a citadel that owed its existence to the discovery of the Onyx Key, a powerful artifact that allowed dwarves to travel quickly between different planes of existence. Craggadon used the Onyx Key to lead his people to the surface, where they established the citadel and began to build a new life for themselves. Craggadon was a hero to his people, and his name was revered throughout the dwarven community. Cravencus was a citadel that was situated in the World's Edge Mountains of Toldor. It was one of the original Sky Citadels, and its connection to the Darklands made it a valuable strategic location. Cravencus was not as prosperous as some of the other citadels, but it was a place of great importance to the dwarves who lived there. The constant attacks from Darklands creatures meant that the dwarves of Cravencus had to be constantly vigilant, and they developed a reputation for their skill and tenacity in battle. While the fate of the other Sky Citadels is unknown, it is clear that they played a significant role in dwarven history and culture. The dwarves of Golarion are a resilient and resourceful people, and the Sky Citadels stand as a testament to their ingenuity and determination to survive against all odds.